Hello today and welcome back to Trails from Zero. We're on the road to Armorica Village as part of the wolf monster investigation. I'll shoot you because I feel like it. How long has it been? It's 2-3 weeks? I know last time we looked at Zero Kai for a little bit. And I was going to move on to something else that I've been working on, but it's not quite ready, so back in Trails from Zero. Reviving Bomb. Next time I'm using a lock. Right, Armorica Village is a little bit of a different, or not village, but the old Armorica Road, that's what this area is called. Has a little bit of a different tune to it. The gate is locked. No getting through there. Let's see. There should be some other monsters in the area. The chest, grasshoppers. Is the chest half full or half empty? Neither. It's completely empty. That's the only one in this area. Did I miss one anywhere? I don't have the quartz on that lets me see where chests are, because I just went ahead and at the start of the game put in my basically in-game builds from my last playthrough. But if you want to put that in pretty early, what is that, like detect or something? Detection. I think you get it pretty early on. You can slap that in. Useful for getting the achievement for opening every chest in the game, which I don't think you can do on your first playthrough, because it might count chests that are in a dungeon that's only a New Game Plus. That's also in the new version as well. They did not change the achievements for Kai. The chest is empty and exercises its right to remain silent. Here we are. The rest area along Old Armorica Road. Oh, good timing. A rest area, huh? Really? Oh, thank Adios. They are exhausted. Why don't we take a break here before your legs fall off? We can even admire the view while we catch our breath. Sound good? Yes, I would love that. Capacity overload. Why not? I'm always game for a little kickback and chill. This breeze feels so refreshing. Just what I needed. I completely agree. I may even fall asleep at this rate. I know it's hard, but we're almost there. Oh, hold on a second. I almost forgot about our lemonade. Check it out. Ice is just about finished melting. Perfect time to chug them down, yeah? I concur. A cold drink is proven to taste better on a hot day. We should really go back and thank her when we have the opportunity. So, stopping to talk to, what's her name? Morse's wife. It gets you this, 3 unique lines of text for this scene, and that's it. That's all it does. You know, I've never taken a close look at the countryside before. I have to say, it's absolutely stunning. It almost feels as if it were taken straight out of a fairy tale. Not too surprising, to be honest. Crossbell's got tons of ruins scattered all over the state. I bet history buffs would have a field day here. Indeed. I believe most of them were constructed during the Middle Ages and have long since been forgotten. I actually seem to remember being told this area once served as a massive battlefield. A battlefield? Here? Yes, supposedly many wars between the Erebonian Empire and the Calvard Republic have taken place in this very location. The ancient battlefield is close by, so it makes sense. The ancient battlefield. Huh, sounds pretty interesting. We don't come out here too often, so you guys want to go check it out? As much as I'd love to, I think we should save it for another time. Agreed. There is a time and location for everything, Randy, and right now happens to be neither. You guys for real? How can you be so young yet so devoid of passion? You're telling me that both of you grew up in Crossbell and you never bothered to explore outside the city? I mean, ain't it natural to want to ditch town and spread your wings a little? I don't agree with that. We never had much reason to leave the city when we were kids. Everything I could ever need was available right there in the city, so I never thought about it. Moreover, Crossbell's commercial centrality encouraged merchants to carry non-domestically produced goods. Furthermore, most people prefer to travel by airship or by train. And with the introduction of orbital vehicles, trekking the road like this, for all intents and purposes, is a thing of the past. While I was not raised in Crossbell, I can certainly relate. I was living in one of the Foundation's research labs for the past few months, so I never had the chance to hike. Modern conveniences really are turning us into a bunch of lazy bums, huh? But anyway, Lloyd, you look like you still have plenty of energy to spare. Well, I owe that to the Police Academy's survival and fitness training. Still, my stamina doesn't hold a candle to yours, Randy. All that training with the CGF must have really paid off. You haven't even broken a sweat yet. Probably just used to running everywhere. Hey, check it out, you guys. There's the bus we missed going back to the city. That must be the bus making its return trip to the city. For a moment, I considered signaling to the driver to stop so I could return home. Come on, Tio. Wouldn't it be a total waste if we took the bus back now? We're in the final stretch, you guys. You won't have to push yourselves for much longer. I hope so. Fine. Let's get this show on the road, ladies. I believe in you. You could also, Oh, we didn't do this yet, did we? You know, this has been bothering me for a while now. What exactly is this thing supposed to be? It looks like that weird metal box back at headquarters, doesn't it? Yeah, I've been eyeing it too. There's a bunch of juice and coffee on display. What gives? This is an orbital vending machine. Is this really the first time you've seen one? If you insert mirror coins into the slot, you can choose the drink you want and the machine dispenses it accordingly. Since they were originally developed by the Epstein Foundation, you'd often find them all over their research facilities. They're apparently being tested out in Crossbell as well. Wow, seriously? Were you aware of these gadgets, though? No, this is my first time seeing one too. It's hard to believe that all these inventions by the Epstein Foundation are starting to pop up all over Zemuria. Granted, I've heard that they have some incredibly influential and wealthy sponsors. Please resort to coins if you intend on using it. Bills are incompatible with this model. Thanks for the heads up. I'm kind of curious. I should try it out at least once, right? Let's do it. Yeah, think about it. We've never seen a vending machine anywhere in Liberal before. Let's buy that canned coffee. So a fun thing is that this text is also in the police station. So if the first time you interact with a vending machine, be it here or at the CPD, you'll basically get that conversation. And other fun fact, we edited that sign because they used to call this place a refresh area. And we're like, that's not what people say in the West. We call these rest areas. So we changed it. Also, there's a fishing spot hidden over here. What kind of rest area would be complete without a fishing spot? Fish. Let's go with the best thing I have, the Aqua Wizard. I'm going to use an entire carp as bait. I don't know if this is going to get me anything, but let's hope. Nothing is biting. Damn it, I'm terrible at this. I believe there's a rare fish that actually comes out of that particular spot. Haha. Clipping. Cheese. What do we got? Fire Sepith. Also, another fun fact about that little conversation is I think that's the first time it's ever really established that of like what kind of currency mirror comes in. So you probably know, oh, I have too many U materials. You probably know that there are mirror coins. That's been pretty well established in a future game. But there are mirror bills apparently as well. And this is also one of the other questions I've kind of had that Falcom hasn't really addressed. Not to my knowledge, anyway. I would hope that they would someday. And I would have thought that they might have done it in this game, considering, or, you know, this arc, considering Crossbell's like the center of commercial trade on the continent. But it's not really established why it is every country has the same currency. A bracer assaulting a chest I can understand, but a cop? That's low, man. I mean, the simple answer is, you know, game design. It's just easier to keep the language the same. If my wish comes true, I want to become a bird. Even if I lose everything else, I want to go to the place of memories with him. Those of you who know. That one's a Ribos, actually. Although I finished the quote. He only put the first line in. I was like, nah, there's room for the entire thing. Let's do it. I strangely have a very Stockholm Syndrome relationship with that game. Oops. Reviving Bomb. What is Zamuria's favorite brand of popcorn? Orville Redenbacher. God, that joke's terrible. That's an Arvin. Also, that's Zerg's favorite chest for some reason. We were making fun of him behind his back. You guys can tell him that. We were talking about that like in a call recently as he made that tweet. And we're like, wow, Zerg really is the normie on the team. Of course, that's his favorite joke. Such low-hanging fruit. And a bunch of Sepith. Hope your pockets are loaded with Sepith. That one's not us. I'm pretty sure that was submitted. Yeah, it's like your odds of getting into the game with a chest message were honestly a lot higher if you had a good pun. I forgot I had Oh dear lord, I forgot. That was an honest mistake. I haven't booted this game in like 2 weeks. Let's go into system and options. So as you may know, the game gives you the option to set custom soundtrack where you have the option of using the original soundtrack or the Evolution one if you install the Evolution soundtrack yourself. But you can also customize it and mix and match, pick which versions you like. And if we go down to, let's find Get Over the Barrier, it's somewhere around here. There it is. You can see that we recently added a third option. This is not publicly available yet, but we added the jam option. That was made by Chuji, who recently joined the Geofront, actually. He made that like way before that ever happened, though. And he joined the V sector to help with East versus Trails in the Sky, which is now publicly known. I guess that happened between the last video and this one. That we've announced that the next Geofront project is East versus Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga. And he's helping with like the video stuff on that. He already edited the animated opening. And there's several other video things that are in that game, actually. Because that game has tons of fan service, and it includes like trailers and the OPs of like every Falcom game from that era. So there's a lot of video work to be done, and he's helping with that. But long before he ever joined the V sector, he made a Space Jam remix of Get Over the Barrier. And for a while, we'd been kind of joking about it, and I know at one point Adam made a video with it installed just as a joke. I'd put a joke about law enforcement here, but it'd be a bit of a cop-out. And then when he came in, because like the C sector, the Trail Sub-Zero team had nothing to do with like him joining. That was all the V sector's decision. Like we quickly found out that he was the same guy who did that. And our minds were blown. We're like, holy shit, you're that guy. Oh, good times. But yes, we were just joking around in our server one day, and I just pitched that as a joke. Like, create a third custom option for Get Over the Barrier called Jam and install the song. And the next thing I knew, Jose, our lead programmer, just did it. After that string of chest thefts in Liberal, you would think they'd have some locks installed. Northwest, Armorica Village. South, Crossbell City. 274 Sillage, Tangram Gate. 232 Selge. That was a pleasant surprise, or all of a sudden I see Jose posting a new music JSON file. I was like, alright, here you go. Just install it into the custom background music folder. Finally made it. Ellie, Tio, how are you holding up? I'm okay, though I'm not sure how I'd be faring without that break. I'm also alive by some miracle. Though miracles aside, this village is absolutely breathtaking. It sure is. I love Armorica Village. Armorica Village. A rural village surrounded by fields of blooming flowers. It's absolutely mesmerizing. And there's a sweet smell hanging in the air. Is that honey? Yep, you can almost see the apiary from here. According to the database, the honey from Armorica Village is one of the area's specialties. Due to its quality, the demand for Armorican honey is quite high, so it's exported all across Samaria. Yeah, I believe it. I'd always see it being sold in grocery stores and markets. This is where it comes from? That's right. It's rather surreal experiencing something firsthand when you've only read about it in books. What do you mean, Ellie? I'm just thinking aloud. A tranquil place like this fell victim to a monster attack. It's almost hard to believe. Can't blame you. At first glance, all I see is a carefree, happy village. Well, based on the CGF's report, they first spoke to the village chief for details on the incident. Okay, let's do the same. Besides, he probably stays on top of what happens in the village. All that's left is to find out where he lives. Well, obviously it's going to be the biggest house in town, shouldn't it? So there's a bus stop here. This is how you get back. While we're here, let's dig up whatever leads we can about the monsters and then head back. This is Elkin, I believe, right? Yeah. Oh, you guys from Crossbell City? That doesn't seem right, considering the bus just left a few minutes ago. Huh? You walked here? You city folk must all be crazy. I love Elkin. He's one of my favorite NPCs in Crossbell. Elkin's gimmick is that, for one, he really loves this truck. This is like the truck that's shared between the village, where they like drive to the city to drop off their honey and their other farm stuff, all their crops. And Elkin's thing is that not only does he love the truck, but when Elkin gets really excited about stuff, his accent slips out. So, myself and, well, mainly Zerk, he gave, of course, like the first couple of passes to Armorica, but even towards like the end, I had the privilege of kind of sprucing Elkin up a little bit and giving him a little bit of Texas flavor. I love that dude. And I believe he lives here, and this is his sister, Milia. The magnificent views you can find here are, in my opinion, some of the best treats Armorica has to offer. Phew, I'm getting sleepy. I wonder if anyone would notice if I snuck into the barn and took a quick nap. Why would you do that there instead of here? You got a pair of kids that are always playing here. Camille and Pulley, that's your name. Their mom, Ange. Think anyway. This is where Falcom really starts to reach for their Western names. Rior General Store, and this is Old Man Rior, I believe. Yeah, the owner of this place. You can tell that he sells Armorican honey here, or Armorica honey. Yeah, it's the same thing. This is his grandson, Jake. Welcome to Rior General Store. Feel free to look around. His thing is that he doesn't really like living here, even though he's a country boy. He'd rather be in the city. Oh, right, I can buy a model orbital car. That's for Lloyd's room. You can buy several decorations in the game, though I've been kind of ignoring them. But yes, you can put little decorations in people's rooms. I think it affects the bonding points for the characters, which is a little complicated. I haven't been a while since I did some research on how I'm going to handle that in this playthrough. This is the first Trails game that has bonding points, and those of you who might be familiar with the Arc Fall in Crossbell, it's much different than it is there. It's very subtle and hidden from you, but little things that you do throughout the game affect how much your party members like Lloyd. Like, for example, when I chose to take Randy with me at the end of the prologue mission when we busted those Ravache members. That clean gleam of water, the shadows of the fish outlined by the bright sunlight. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh man, I think I saw a massive shadow just now. Oh, what I wouldn't give to own my own fishing rod. Oh, Salem. Sorry, Armorican Carp, but you're about to get schooled. Let's use the feather tackle. Let's throw a row in. Alright, Lloyd, don't disappoint me. There we go, finally. Is it? Oh, it's a tiger rockfish. I was hoping for an Armorican Carp. I don't remember what combination you need to lay down there to get that, but oh well. This is the Ash Tree Inn. I believe on this board you would find a recipe if you didn't have it already. Huh, I could go in and move over that rustic Armorica to try to make it more centered. You would learn that recipe right now, which would be somewhere in here. There it is, rustic Armorica, which you can also use to make radiant Armorica and Bumorica. Welcome! Oh, you're first-time customers, right? You've caught us during our slow hour. Take your time to look over the menu, okay? Hey, I know you. You're not from here. You're Copin from the Fisherman's Guild. Alright, now that I've sated my appetite with a big meal, I think it's time to drop my line and see what bites. This is Keith. He has a big crush on this girl. And this is her dad. Gofon, that's his name. Put Lloyd back at the front. Well, no one here. Ange has a husband, but I think he's out working in the fields right now or something. Whose name I cannot remember. Time to steal this EP Cut 1. You're really going to take that EP Cut 1? Haven't the Armoricans been through enough? Seriously. They've already gone through a monster attack, now you're stealing their quartz? I wrote that. So yes, I am going to steal it. This is Derek. He's the village chief's son. If things keep going like this, I don't know how long the village will last. What? Can't you see I'm busy here? Huh? You have business with Chief Tolta. His house is right over there. He and his dad kind of have a rocky relationship because he would be the next village chief, and he kind of has different ideas of the direction Armorica Village should head in. So you see those boxes out to the right, as well as they're over here in front of the shed as well. That's the apiary. This is the thing they put that has all the bees in it and how they make their honey. Alright, this is Chief Tolta's house. Thanks to you, the transaction went flawlessly. Thank you. I look forward to our next business collaboration. Yes, I as well. Though, are you sure that price is good for your business? It's 20% more than what other traders paid. I assure you, they're well worth the price. Given the praises sung about Armorica's specialty items, I think they'll prove quite profitable. There's no need to fret over my endeavors. I'll break even, somehow. Confident as ever. Always a pleasure to work with you. Please, bring your beautiful wife and son with you to the village next time. I have no doubt they'd have a blast relaxing in the sun. I think I'll do just that. Take care, Chief Tolta. Yes, until next time. Oh, pardon me. Goodbye, man with character portrait. That man just now. He had the air of a merchant about him. Sure did. He must have had some business with Armorica's head honcho. You all are... Apologies for interrupting. We're looking for the chief of the village. Are you him by any chance? Indeed I am. Name's Tolta. Are you folks tourists? No, sir. We're here to investigate the recent monster attack in the village. Oh, I understand. The folks over at the Guardian Force have stopped by a few times already. Unfortunately, they couldn't find any conclusive leads. I'm full of confidence now that you all are on the job. This optimism is strange, don't you agree? Yep, same misunderstanding as usual. I've moved past the point of being surprised now. Sorry, sir. I should have been more clear. What's clarity got to do with this? Despite what you're probably thinking, we aren't from the Racer Guild. We're from the Crossbell Police Department, Special Support Section. Is that right? Can't say that was my first guess. I apologize for the misunderstanding. The police rarely visit Armorica Village, so I wasn't really expecting this. On the other hand, bracers are always coming and going thanks to Arios. Gotcha. How could one dude be so popular yet so dedicated to his job? Bracers aside, Chief Tolta, can we get back to the reason why we're here? If you don't mind, could you give us a rundown of the attack? Sure, I don't mind. It happened about 3 weeks ago, on the night of a new moon. A pack of monsters snuck into our village, laying waste to any crops they could find. Fruit, wheat, even our livestock was dead. Every household in the village was affected by it to some degree. And there were no eyewitnesses, right? Yes, unlike the rowdy city folk, people here tend to go to sleep earlier. After all, we get up when the rooster crows. Because of that, we were all fast asleep. When people finally stepped outside, the paw prints and damage left by the monsters were clear as day. So no one was aware of what happened until dawn. Could you further expound upon why you think they are wolf-like in nature? Right. You see, the paw prints left all around the village were some kind of canine. Funny thing is, some CGF members were scheduled to patrol the Armorica area later that day. Once we informed them about the attack, they conducted a search of the perimeter, just to be safe. But not a single trace of the canines was found anywhere. His statement seems to line up with what the CGF report described. That's good to hear. Like I said, it's been 3 weeks since that mess. By the goddess' protection, we haven't been hit again. To be honest, I thought this was a one-time issue. I'm sorry to hear that other locations have been attacked as well. Yeah, it's not a great situation. Yo, I got a question. It's pretty awesome to see the villagers so chill after an attack like that. It's like the whole fiasco didn't faze them at all. Weren't your losses pretty heavy? No, it isn't as bad as you think. If you can count the losses per household, they were relatively light. Really? I thought it was much worse. This is merely a rough estimate, but I'd wager the total loss was around 100,000 miro. Still, no matter how much I tried to downplay it, a loss is still a loss. It was a stressful time for the village. Thankfully, we were able to strike a business deal that'll help us recover. I'm happy to say most of our losses have been accounted for now. A business deal? Was it with the guest that just left? A keen eye, miss. He's a merchant from Crossbell City. Over the past few years, we've maintained a healthy business relationship. After hearing about the damages, he increased his offers by a wide margin. Bless his soul. You don't see that kind of generosity too often in people. He sounds like a kind man. A merchant, huh? No wonder he was in that fancy getup. Gotta look the part and all, you know? Yes, well, considering the shape Crossbell is in, these damages are the least of our worries. Chief Tolta? Sorry, could you explain? Oops, looks like I got caught up in the moment. Apologies, folks. Forget all that nonsense. Geez, you can't just tease a man like that. That's like lowering a slab of meat in front of a dog and taking it away. Agreed. I don't appreciate being left in the dark. My sincerest apologies. The ramblings of an old man aren't too interesting, but are you still curious? Yes, sir. Please, tell us everything you know. At this point, we'll take any lead we can get. Well, if you insist. Have you folks ever heard of the Divine Wolves? Divine Wolves? As in holy wolves? I do not believe such a term exists in the database. And just as I thought. This legend must be long lost in the city. A shame, really. Sorry, but what exactly is a divine wolf? Whatever it is, it sounds important. The divine wolves are an ancient species of beasts that reside within Crossbell. Stories describe them as wolves with fur as white as snow. You don't mean... Could these divine wolves be the culprits behind Armorica Village's damages? Of course, there's no evidence saying that they're the culprits, but personally, I would not be surprised if they were. You see, the old legends mention that these divine wolves are not regular wolves, but holy beasts sent by Eidos herself. Long ago, this land of Crossbell was a bloody place, rife with conflict. While watching over the foolishness of man, they would occasionally help the weak if they so desired. At least, that's how the legend goes. I can't believe I had never heard this before. Something about this sounds familiar. Yeah, I think I read a fairy tale about a white wolf when I was a little kid. I'm pretty sure I borrowed the book from the library. Yes, I'm sure the legend of the divine wolf serves as the basis for that particular fairy tale. As I'm sure you are all aware, Crossbell has undergone drastic changes in the past few decades. Once it became the center of trade in Zemuria, being influenced by both the Empire and the Republic, Crossbell began to leave its history in the past. And with that, the divine wolves slowly vanished. Huh. Guess they were just fed up with man being dumb as usual. Well said. Those are my thoughts exactly. I believe that's why the divine wolves disappeared over the course of time. And if they have finally decided to return, I can only think that this is an omen of things to come. Why would you think that? It may be out of my place to say, but I feel that Crossbell City has been expanding too rapidly and too aggressively. Last time I rode down to visit, all those changes left my jaw on the floor. It's as if people are so caught up in living in the moment, they've forgotten to remember the past. That's how I see it, anyway. I don't know what to say. Oh dear, I wasn't intending to lambast you folks with a sermon. I just think it's possible that this attack might have been a warning from the returning divine wolves. I suppose if you interpret it that way, everything would make sense. But it looks to me like you all took the story a bit too seriously. Please, ignore me. Those were nothing more than the ramblings of an old man who doesn't know when to stop talking. I wouldn't dismiss yourself like that. That was all valuable information, sir. I think I may even be able to tackle this case from a new angle. I guess it was worth it then. Well, back to the subject at hand. You came here to conduct an investigation, right? Is there anything I can do to assist you? Yes, actually. May we have your permission to ask the villagers about the incident? If it's just you four, it shouldn't be a problem. Noon, isn't it? Perfect. Most people should be getting back from farm work right about this time. Still, an investigation. Here, maybe I haven't given the CPD enough credit. You may be a match for the guild. The only thing I'm certain of is that it took place in the dead of night. I don't know whether you'll find relevant information, but you're free to ask around the village for any details. Yeah, so we actually have to full sweep the village right now and actually talk to everyone. Most of our farmers should be home by now, or at least on their way back. Quite a few of them like to eat lunch at the Ash Tree Inn by the river. Why don't you go there first? I think I'd like stream there. And this is his wife, Inna. Just like my husband, I was fast asleep while the beast attacked. I'm sorry. I wish I could be of more help to you. I have an idea. Why don't you ask the people who live near where the brunt of the damage was? We mainly suffered damages to the apiary, livestock, and crops. I recommend you ask the people in charge of those more about it. Same. So, as you may have pieced together, that we saw a book that mentioned a white wolf in the library, and that's the same book that Lloyd was referring to. Saint and the White Wolf. Divine wolves, huh? That was quite the story. Agreed. Unfortunately, there's no way we can confirm or deny their existence. Still, we can at least count them among our list of potential suspects. What a very Lloyd thing to say. That's right, the paw prints found at the scene of the crime confirms the presence of some kind of wolf-like beast. But they somehow managed to vanish without a trace. It's bizarre, certainly. If they left paw prints, you would normally be able to follow them back to their origin. Right. Chalk that up as another mystery. We're dealing with something that was able to elude the CGF's investigators. Well, if they escaped on a path we could never follow, there's kinda nothing we can do about it. No use in frying your brain over it, okay? Yeah, you're right. Alright, let's start with gathering whatever intel we can around here. And considering it's already noon, we might as well grab lunch while we're here, too. I can't wait. That hike really stirred up my appetite. Same here. I'm always down for some grub. Well, we head on over to the inn and see what info we can find on the way. Alright, let's talk to everyone in town. They've all changed locations and their dialogue has advanced. Such as Derek over here. Earlier, I heard the chief mention something about divine wolves. He may be my father, but I can't help getting annoyed when he won't let go of silly things like so-called divine wolves. I just want him to start focusing on improving the village, not worrying about things from the past. We lost livestock in the attack, which was a direct result of a lack of village defenses. I was right. The village has to adapt. Chief told us, no. Father's way of running the village isn't going to work anymore. There's the conflict, drama, story, world building. Thank you, Falcom. Ah, there's Ange's husband. I want to say your name's Donald? Yeah. Recently, our fields were ravaged by some monsters. To top it off, even our livestock didn't come out unscathed. We found paw prints of some kind of canine, but whatever it is, it's not from around these parts. Maybe they really were those divine wolves like the chief mentioned. Whatever kind of wolf attacked our fields isn't from around these parts. Maybe they really were those divine wolves like the chief mentioned. Alright, let's talk to his kids and wife. Did those wolves do something bad to the village? I don't really know what happened. My mom came to watch me play a little while ago. Isn't that because the wolves started appearing? Camille? So I heard Chief Tota mention that divine wolves were the culprit or something. Psh, we don't even need to worry. If they mess with us again, the great Camille will teach them a lesson. If I want to become a bracer, I can't afford to slack off now. Armorica, you're safe under my protection. During the day, you'll find my husband tending the fields near the village. He's on his lunch break now. With all this talk of monsters and the recent attack, I wish he wouldn't stray too far from the village. I've been worried sick ever since that happened. I rarely let my kids out of my sight now. With all this talk of monsters and the recent attack, I wish he wouldn't stray too far from the village. It's pretty much the same. Yeah, sometimes Falcom just copy and paste things in NPCs repeat boxes. My store may not have been hit by those wolves, but unfortunately the damages to the apiary still lost me some mirror. The whole thing sounds so absurd when you actually think about it. I mean, if some monsters were behind it, shouldn't there have been more damage? I guess we were lucky. I'll need to give an extra prayer today to thank Adios for protecting us like she did. You hear what Harold did? After hearing about the tough times we've been having after the attack, he came and bought our Armorican goods at higher prices. You know, honesty and trustworthiness are key traits for merchants to have. Harold may still be young, but he's a good man. You, Jake, do you got anything? Huh? The attack 3 weeks ago. You mean that one everyone's been making a big deal about? I was fast asleep when it happened, so I don't remember much about it. Plus, I heard we'd already made up the losses we took. Why can't we just forget about it and move on? Chief Tota already said that we've recovered from all the damages. Wouldn't it be better to forget about those monsters and move on? Let's go into the Astray Inn first. Seely? Mr. Hayworth told us that he's going to be heading home soon. Don't you just love him? He's so kind, genuine, and handsome. Can you believe he's married? He even has a kid. Oh, I am so jealous of his wife. If you're looking for Mr. Hayworth, he's up on the 2nd floor. I hope he comes back soon. Huh? You want information on those wolves? Well, the fields that I'm in charge of were damaged a little bit, so that wasn't great. Bear in mind, no one actually saw the bees, so they might be smarter than we think. The fields that I'm in charge of were damaged a bit by the wolves. It was definitely a challenge to get everything back in working order. You're another guy who wasn't here earlier. Your name... Oh, we're gonna get put into a cutscene. Alfred, that's his name. I like Alfred. Alfred, if you're ever in Armorica, he's fun to talk to, because Alfred is an avid book reader. And every now and then, just for fun, he references the title of books that were in Trails in the Sky. Your Armorica is the real deal, Gofon. If I could have a plate of this on my deathbed, I could die happy. Good to hear the cooking is worth the effort. Excuse us, sorry to interrupt. Can I help you? Yes, actually. You see, we're from the Crossbell Police Department. We were curious to know if you had any details regarding the wolf attack. Can you remember anything at all? That incident 3 weeks ago, you mean? Well, I always thought it was funny that the beasts attacked early in the morning, while everyone was fast asleep. If you think about it, it's almost as if they knew exactly what time to attack. Anyway, the village was just unlucky. That's the only way I can make sense of this craziness. That's about all I'd be able to tell you too. Most of the guests I've talked to didn't see anything either. That's unfortunate. And here I was hoping for some solid evidence right off the bat. Well, that's how investigations go. Answers only show up when you're patient and steadily gather information. That may be, but do you think we can take a break? My stomach is going to implode. Oh, you folks haven't eaten yet? This is the perfect opportunity to get you four hooked up on the in-specialty Armorica. The bill's on me. No, that's unnecessary, sir. It's fine. Just think of it as my way of making some new friends. Or just think of it as a marketing tactic. Next time you visit Armorica Village, come stop by the Ash Tree Inn for lunch. Haha, can't refuse that generosity, can we? Lloyd, we might as well take him up on his kind offer, if that's the case. I second that notion. Well, okay, I guess. We'd love some Armorica. Good deal. Why don't you folks find yourselves an empty table while I whip up your meal? So, fun fact, the reason why we use the term Armorica rather than like omelet and rice or whatever, why we're using what's actually kind of a Japanese combination of the name, is because there's canonically a dish in Trails of Cold Steel called Armorica. It's one of the possible cooking outcomes in that game. So, because it's in Cold Steel, it's fair to use. In only a few minutes, 4 steaming plates of Armorica were brought to Lloyd's table. The SSS, after demolishing the deliciously simple meal, felt completely recovered from their long hike to Armorica Village. Most people who tend to the fields come back during lunchtime. I can't say that business is booming, but we manage. I'm just happy to keep this place running for my regulars. Mr. Hayworth usually spends the night here when he's in town, you know. I consider him a regular, so I toss him something free of charge every now and then. The day before the attack, everyone in the village went to sleep early because we had to wake up at dawn for work. It was like the monsters were waiting for the perfect time to strike. Say whatever you want, we were just unlucky. That's the only explanation that makes sense to me. Do we get this cutscene now? We sure do. Oh, you all. You just met with Chief Tolta. You're a merchant from Crossbell City, aren't you? I guess you heard about that from the village chief. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Harold Hayworth. I run a small-scale business operation out of Crossbell City. Are you four here to purchase something as well? No, that's not it. The SSS introduced themselves and explained the reason they came to Armorica Village. Oh, you're from the CPD. My apologies. The Special Support Section. That name sounds so familiar. Where in the world did I hear that? Oh, of course, the Crossbell Times. I take it you read that article on us. About that, please try not to let that influence your opinion of us. There's no need to get all worked up about it. All I see is a group of individuals who are working hard in a newly formed division of the CPD. Sure, that article may have been overzealous with the sarcasm, but to be honest, I thought it genuinely tried to paint your efforts as earnest. And do you really think so? I suppose it could be interpreted like that, from a more optimistic perspective. Well, we sort of know the author. That said, I think you might be giving her too much credit. Anyway, you mentioned wolf-like monsters? I've heard talk of a similar incident that took place over at St. Ursula Medical College. I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't anxious. Do you have some sort of partnership with St. Ursula as well, Mr. Hayworth? Yes, I do. You see, I wholesale medical supplies to them every so often. Rumor has it that someone there was injured during the attack. Also, wasn't there some damage over in Mainz, too? Unfortunately so. The Guardian Force is conducting a search there as we speak. That's reassuring. Perhaps I should pay Mainz a visit as well. By the way, Mr. Hayworth, something has me curious. I heard you were more than generous with your offers on the goods you came to purchase today. My, the village chief must really enjoy talking today. I wasn't exactly doing it as charity or anything like that. Armorica specialty items, especially their honey, received glowing reviews these past few months. I simply wanted to use this opportunity to leave a good impression on the people here. Nothing but a harmless marketing strategy. Not too shabby. I imagine earning a client's trust is vital in any sort of business. In that case, you must be running a smooth operation. No, I still have a lot to learn. I'm still a greenhorn in the realm of business. Also, allow me to apologize. I sincerely wish I had more pertinent information to give you. No, please, don't let that bother you. After all, we should be the ones apologizing, taking up all your precious time like this. Not at all. Best of luck to you all with your investigation. I wasn't near the area where the damages occurred. I'm really sorry I can't be of any help, everyone. If these attacks continue throughout Crossbell, I imagine most of the public will be on edge. Special support section, please continue to do your best in your investigation. You have my full support. Oh, what a nice man. Alright, that does it for the Ash Tree Inn. Let's talk to Salem. Huh? You want to know about the night those wolves attacked? Well, I know it's been about 3 weeks since then. Sorry, I don't remember much more than that. Pretty much the same. Now let's talk to Copen here for another scene. Such a pretty day. Oh, you guys here to do a little fishing too? Not exactly. We're officers from the Crossbell Police Department. We're here to investigate the monster attack that took place roughly 3 weeks ago. You don't strike me as an Armorican, but if you know anything about it, anything at all, I'd appreciate it if you told us. Oh, you came about that? If memory serves me right, I was trying to catch a python head around then, so I wasn't actually in the village. You can bet your horses I heard the stories afterwards, though. I see. Thank you for your help. We'll just have to find leads elsewhere. Sorry I couldn't be more help. But man, y'all have to travel all the way out here for police stuff? Not gonna lie, that sounds rough. Oh, that reminds me, you guys happen to fish? A day as beautiful as this comes once in a blue moon. Would be a shame if you weren't able to kick back and enjoy the sun for a bit. Novice rod, which I already have, but this is where you'd get your fishing stuff, your starting gear. Oh, I can't forget about this either. The fishing notebook. The notebook is an angler's best friend. You can use it to record every detail about every catch, from color to size. Are you sure this is okay? It's like you're giving us an entire starting kit. No worries. I'm part of the Fisherman's Guild. Our whole mission is to promote the culture and greatness of fishing. It's common practice for us to have a few beginner sets on hand, in case we run into someone interested in fishing. We stopped by their building before. I think I have a better idea of what they do now after meeting this guy. Unique text. Hey, this is a stroke of luck. Now we've got a nice hobby we can do between jobs or something. Right. Well, one of us, not me, fishes. The rest can take the chance to rest. Oh, this is a fun opportunity to point out something. So, I can't remember if this is like a little bit of a liberty or if it's pretty accurate to the Japanese where Tio says, not me, fishes. So obviously Lloyd's the only one that technically fishes. That's the way it is in every Trails game up until Cold Seal 3, I believe, where only the protagonist fishes before you can technically do it with your other party members. But a fun little note is that it doesn't shine through very often within the actual games within Zero and Al. but there's a really established characteristic for Tio in other things like drama CDs that she hates fish. She hates them. She finds them really gross. And I think like the exact phrasing is that she doesn't like the way their eyes look at her when they're out of the water. So this is a really nice touch. I don't know if this is intentional or if this kind of happened by accident that we got this little touch in there. Rest is a necessity, you know? From what you're saying, I'm guessing you two are still tired from the walk here. Well, who am I to refuse a gift? Awesome, I hope it serves you well. Thanks, Copen. Armorica Village has a ton of real good fishing spots, so me and my buddies come out here often. Plus, they got a really good inn. So, I take it you're a regular? You got that right. Hard to beat a place as comfortable and quiet as Armorica. Now, did Salem's dialogue potentially change? Maybe. No, it didn't. Darn it. Well, I'll point it out now in case I forget, but she's like looking over in his direction, and we talked to her earlier and she was kind of interested in fishing. Salem really wants to join the Fisherman's Guild, but she's kind of very shy and timid. So every now and then when Copen or someone else from the guild shows up here in Armorica, she'll be over by that pier kind of like staring in their direction, just hoping that she gets an encounter like the one we just had, where she gets invited to join the guild. Farm work requires love and dedication. We make sure to treat every single crop like it was a child of ours. When our fields were hit by the attack, I'm sure you can imagine how much that hurt the village, right? Our little crops that we worked so hard to raise destroyed. To us, it was like finding out our very own children had gotten hurt. And time to talk to Elkin, and I think that will do it. The morning after the incident, I found my truck covered head to toe in these ugly scratches. Goddess, it pisses me off every time I remember y'all are gonna pay. This truck here is crucial to the village's business. Whoever did this has hell to pay. Anyway, those scratch marks definitely came from some kind of canine. Sorry, hard to control my accent whenever I get overexcited. Why was I born that way? It never happens to my sister Milia. And I think now if we inspect the bus stop, we can leave. There's someone we're forgetting. We might have to do another quick once over. Or no, maybe we have to go inside of a building and out. That might be it. Yeah, there it is. I remember your tricks, Falcom. Should we put a hold on our investigation for now? I guess so. Kinda sucks that we didn't hear anything useful though. Setting aside the eyewitness testimonies, I was almost positive someone would have heard some howling, you know? It is strange. It's something to keep in mind. Anyway, I think we've covered just about everything we can here. We should pay St. Ursula Medical College a visit next, but let's go back to Crossbell City before that. No complaints from me. Though I can't say I have any desire to make that trek on foot again. Me neither. It's not worth the trouble or pain. You're the ladies, Lloyd. I did, and I agree. We can just check when the next bus arrives at the bus stop. Alright, let's go to the bus stop. So, the next bus comes in 30 minutes? Geez, that's the absolute worst wait. It's not too long, but still not short. I was wanting to grab a drink at the inn, but that doesn't give me enough time. Who cares whether there's enough time or not? Drinking on duty isn't appropriate, Randy. Tio, what's up? Is something wrong? No, I just thought I heard something in the distance. What kind of noise are we talking about? I'll try maximizing the sensitivity in order to amplify the sound. Please stay quiet. Okay, do your thing. Activate the Aeon system. I'm sorry, everyone. It must have been my imagination. And don't worry about it, Tio. Can you describe the sound? Again, it might have been my imagination, but I could have sworn I heard howling. Seriously? Was it our culprits? Please don't get your hopes up. I likely misheard it. It could have also been a simple sensor malfunction. What should we do? Search the surrounding area for signs of wolves? Let me think. Tio, what's the range of your sensors? When operating normally, it should be around 50 Celge. However, in the presence of wind, sound waves can travel even further. The exact location is near impossible to pinpoint. Whew, damn, that's far, huh? But we still won't be able to determine where the sound came from. That's okay. In the meantime, we'll just have to keep our ears open. Wait a second. You believe me? Huh? Of course we do. You said you heard it, right? Yes, I did say that. Still, it's not something the average person would be able to catch. Wouldn't it be more normal to think I'm lying, or that my mind was playing tricks on me? Maybe not. But we all know that you're 1 in a million, Tio Tot. Come again? It's true. Plus, why wouldn't we believe you? We might have met recently, but you've already saved us more times than I could count. I can't think of any reason to ever doubt you. I apologize, everyone. That question was silly of me to ask. Please, forget about it, if possible. Sure? I'm not sure if it's that big of a deal. Oh, you're still here. Oh, Mr. Hayworth. Yes, we are. Were you about to head back to Crossbell City? Yes, that's right. Are you doing the same, Mr. Hayworth? Indeed I am. Now that I've picked up souvenirs from my family, I'm about to return home. Forgive me for assuming, but were you planning on taking the bus back? When does it arrive? Unfortunately, it will be another half hour, according to the schedule. Hey, if you want to pop a squat and wait with us, we'd be happy to have you. Oh, I appreciate the offer, but... 5 in total. There should be room, I think. Everyone, instead of waiting for the bus, how about you all hop in my car instead? I'll get you to Crossbell City in no time flat. Look at that flex. I wish... I don't know if Orbital cars have that, but I wish he had the little remote lock. Beep, beep. Just flex on us and be like, ha, I have my own car. Look how weird and boxy Zimurian cars are. Thank you for the ride back, Mr. Hayworth. My pleasure. I was heading back to the city anyway. Man, must be awesome to own your own orbital car, huh? How much did this baby cost you? I believe a vehicle of this model and manufacture would cost approximately 800,000 Mira. 800,000 Mira? Can't even imagine having that much. I might have close to that much on me, I'm not sure. Well, it's an invaluable tool for a merchant like myself. I could take the bus, but transit time would end up bottlenecking business. So, I decided to bite the bullet and get my own vehicle. I'm sure you had other reasons to buy it aside from business. For example, I bet it lets you get home to your wife and son earlier, right? You caught me. Ah, there's the real reason. Got gifts for them and everything, huh? Is this what people call the ideal husband and father? No, that's giving me far too much credit. I often have to go on business trips, forced to leave my wife and son at home. How old is your son? He turns 5 years old this year. He's not quite at that Sunday school age yet, but he's filled with curiosity. In fact, his constant questions and desire to learn about his surroundings can be a bit overwhelming for his mother. I see. You all sound like a happy family. Yes, we are. Besides, we have to be happy. Oh, pay no mind to that. Simply thinking aloud. Look, we should be close to the end of the old road now. I'll be taking a right turn up here, just as a heads up. I wonder if he says who made his car. It looks like it's a Vern model, but I'm not entirely sure. Because both Reinford and Vern make cars. Hello. By a white wolf, who's mostly blue? It's a weird detail that bothers me. Thanks for driving us all the way back to the city, Mr. Hayworth. Oh, it was nothing. It was on the way, so why not travel in good company? Well, best of luck with your investigation. You've got my full support. Thank you very much, sir. If you ever need our support, contact us whenever. What she said. Remember us before you turn to the Bracer Guild, huh? Stay professional, guys. How subtle. What? Someone's got to do the PR for us. Ain't that right, Teotot? Indeed, advertising is considered a crucial aspect of all business models. As a merchant, I wholeheartedly agree. If something comes up, I know where to find you. Oh, I have something that might come in handy. Then again, as police officers, you might find it unnecessary. Crossbell City map. This is fast travel. A map of the city? It's something I put together last month, to guide tourists around the city. So I figure it might be useful as a city map too. This will be really nice to have when we're patrolling the city. Thanks a lot, Mr. Hayworth. I'll put it to good use. I'm glad to hear. Well then, until we meet again, good luck to all of you. Bye, Mr. Hayworth. Also, by the way, I totally spaced and forgot to do something in Armorica Village. I think we missed a copy of Back Alley Dr. Gwen. I'll fix that off camera. My bad. What a great man. I agree. I never thought we would find someone as altruistic as Lloyd, but here we are. You know, that doesn't really sound like a compliment. Remember, he's a trader. He's a merchant, actually. Damn it, I thought we fixed that. Or no, wait. Is he? Damn it. Which one is he? Crap. Why can I not remember? we had an entire conversation about this. And here we are messing it up. Darn it. I bet it takes more than being nice to run a successful business. Well, Mr. Hayworth and his business seem to be prospering, all while maintaining cooperation with the locals. He really stands out. Most Crossbell and traders tend to trade abroad. We need more merchants like that, I think. We're using both now. Damn, he really is something else, isn't he? I guess they're kind of interchangeable, but maybe we should have been saying trader in Armorica? I'm gonna have to look into that. While he runs an honest business, groups like Ravach are as dirty as they come. That's just how Crossbell is nowadays. Of course, there's always the flip side. But people like Mr. Hayworth show that Crossbell isn't all bad. He gives me hope. Me too, Ellie. Anyway, it's already past noon. How about we head to the next place? We might as well. St. Ursula Medical College, wasn't it? South then? Right, we can take the bus there. I hear it stops by every 30 minutes. Hey, that's handy dandy. Let's take a look at the bus stop then. Sounds good. St. Ursula. I guess I'm finally going to see Cecile. Crossbell City map can now be opened. Inside the city, press options. Well, the actual part that says options doesn't show up very well on a black background, does it? To bring up a map of the city, press options again for a map of the state. Of course, that's dynamic, so it's all dependent on, you know, what controller you're using. If you're inside the city, you can use the map as a shortcut to travel around quickly. And also, let me just read these real quick and make sure. Yeah, okay, they're all right. I think we recently had to, there's my mouse, had to edit this after the game actually came out and put this in 1.02. But because of that business where we kept changing the name of Station Street, I think originally this graphic, which is just a screenshot in the background, said Station Road, and we had to fix that in 1.02. You can fast travel to the areas listed on the left side of the screen. Also, I can't remember whether or not Raibo said he wanted to insert the button layouts for the top right of that screen. Maybe. Be aware that in some situations fast travel will be unavailable. So before we finish up, there's one thing we gotta do, because, well, first, I should save. Because I might have to rely, well, if I have to reload to, like, do that entire hour over to get the copy of Dr. Gwen, it's not a big deal. It shouldn't take me that long. Because really, all we did was talk to people. We didn't do anything important. I can do all that in, like, 10 minutes. But let's go to Residential Street and address the elephant in the room, because it would not be right to in this video otherwise. You can actually open this gate if you walk through it. There's Mr. Hayworth's car. This is where he lives. I never came into either one of these houses. Next door is Henri's house, one of the kids we saved at the Geofront. He and his family live here on Residential Street, rather. And here is where Mr. Hayworth lives, with his wife and son. His wife, Sophia, and upstairs we'll find his son, Colin. So, obviously, everything we do on the channel is meant to be in the perspective of playing the Trails games in order. So, I assume that you have, of course, played all of Trails in the Sky, or you watched me play it, and I'm going to assume that you're not stupid, and you already know this. Harold Hayworth is Ren's father. Sophia is her mother, and that would be Colin, the son they had after they lost Ren. And if you go back and look at second chapter, which we will do because I have the footage and I can bring it up, you'll see that Harold and Sophia are exactly like the puppets that Ren used in Grand Cell during second chapter. They had portraits and everything, and they look exactly like them. So this is the family that Ren lost before she was taken to paradise. Remember, it was Elnin, actually, who got that information out of Ren when Estelle and company were looking for Ren before they knew that she was an enforcer. Elnin let them know that he finally got Ren to kind of talk about her family and learn that her father's name was Harold Hayworth, a trader from Crossbell City. This is him. Just as she said, Harold Hayworth, a trader from Crossbell City. Alright, when we pick up next time, we're going to St. Ursula Medical College. St. Ursula's an interesting place. We'll see some things on the way. There will be some events happening that'll be fun and interesting. And then we will meet Cecile, Lloyd's sort of sister. It's complicated Japanese stuff, relationships and all that. And we'll get to see what she's like and what St. Ursula's like. We'll continue the wolf investigation. And I'll have our copy of Back Alley Dr. Gwen, which I'm pretty sure I missed, but I'll go fix that. See you guys in the next one.